came from the Greek meaning badass lizard.
Interesting. I thought it was something like that. Sorry, so like most people didn't know dinosaurs existed, but at the time, for all of history, up until recently, literally up until the past 100 years, including, I will tell you a little fact here, dragons were just part of fucking everyone's shit. And up until recently, the past 100 years,
so were
Like
angels.
a fantasy thing and whatever. Don't me start on that. And like all this
and
other
giants.
stuff. Guess what the definition in 1946 Webster's dictionary was of the dragon?
I don't know.
I love
to
how we're
hear
jumping
it.
around so much. This is great. What is it?
In 1946, it says, dragon, now rare, a huge serpent.
It's the video I'm going to play later.
Yeah.
But it
This
starts
is the
off
video
as
I'm gonna play
now rare. All right, guys?
Yeah. So open and shut case, Johnson. We can end the
All
podcast
good.
right now. It turns out they were real because Webster's Dictionary defined them as now rare.
Come on, why the fuck would they say that?
Welcome back to an episode of the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. We're back here from an undisclosed location. We have the three of us, the three amigas, and we're ready for another stunning episode, episode 103. We're cracking along this year, and we can't wait to talk more to you. Dom, give the folks a holler out there. They love to see ya.
Hi, folks. How's it going?
Dylan, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Turns out, with first people ever fucking actually talk about this, turns out dragons are fucking real. Who would have known?
Holy shit.
We have, something came to us from somewhere.
It hacked to us.
I was
Two in a
just
row.
about to mention it's talking to us, actually, if you know what I'm getting at.
Talk to us.
No one, there's for thousands of years, we're talking 5,000 BC plus.
Yeah.
Not including even cave paintings.
I always forget to
dragons-
subscribe to BC Plus. I'm still on BC Basic.
BC Basic, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out that dragons have been a part of everything since forever, and no one's taken them seriously. Maybe there's something to
I
this.
demand we start taking dragons seriously.
We need some answers. I never took them seriously. Aragon, that whole series, like I was like, this is so
Literally
stupid. 'Cause
the
it is
lamest
stupid.
version of
Version
dragons ever. It's
stupid.
the one.
It is stupid, but
It is the worst version of dragons I've ever heard of.
no question. But they've always been a part of like myth and this, but not even cryptids. They don't even fall in that category. But
No,
sorta
they're
do.
much more like a mythical beast.
mythical thing. But they're
Like,
in
is a
everything.
Cyclops a cryptid? I don't really think so. It's more of like a
No.
Let me tell you
no.
something interesting. So if this doesn't
Do it.
sound, if this doesn't
I
sell
hope
you
we
on
have at least an
dragons-
hour and a half of something interesting, or what am I
If
fucking
this doesn't
doing?
sell you on dragons, I don't know what will. All right, boys and people at home. When's the last time you ate Chinese food at the restaurant?
Last month.
Month ago, maybe more.
They're doing away with this now. I only know one place near me that does this still. But what was the placemat?
Oh, the Zodiac placemat.
Chinese Zodiac.
Yeah.
Thank you
Not
very
the-
much. I
not
was
the
at
hot girl.
Kowloon. They have cloth placemats.
Oh no, I was there 2 months
That's
ago.
a
Then,
little
when we were
too
at
fancy.
Singapore and
So
Fitchburg.
we're talking.
He's like
Chinese-
Calhoun's.
That was like 4
Calhoun's.
months ago.
Was it really? I feel like we
It
just
was,
did that.
it was the Bolsonaro show.
Oh fuck, that was a while ago.
That's a while ago. That was like April. So turns out that
Shows what I
the
know.
Chinese Zodiac is not the same thing as the burning Palo Santo and sage hot chick in her
Yeah, they're
20s
much
who's
different.
doing tarot cards.
And I feel like one of them is
Little
much more
different.
recent, and the other one's like as old
That
as.
one's the Capricorn, Sagittarius, fucking
Cancer.
whatever. Cancer.
It's a cancer on my dating life. I'll tell you that.
It sure is. Yeah. Know what they did? I saw this one. You know, here's something funny. When they ask you like, "Oh, what's your zodiac sign?" You should say, "Do not disturb." That's my sign. That's the
I
sign.
like that.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Do
they'll
not
chirp
disturb.
right back with exactly what sign you are based on
Based
that.
off
Like,
of
oh,
saying that?
I knew you were a Libra.
Yeah, mine's plows use caution.
Mine's caution slow children.
Here's the thing. Deaf child area. So, so here's the thing. Also, be careful with that question because a lot of times they just want to find out. They want to look at local jail records, court records to see.
Oh,
if
that's
you've
a
been
good
to
one
jail.
to figure it
So
out. Yeah.
they might not be like, oh well, Joe's a.
Well, just ask me. I'm more than happy to divulge my conviction history.
You are a Leo, if anyone's wondering. And
Okay, now you just blew up my spot.
But sometimes they're like, we just want to check the court records. They might be smarter than that. So, anyways,
We're here to tell stories about me getting scabies, not personal stuff like my zodiac sign. I'm bleeping that out.
exactly. So don't bleep that out, dude. That's good. That's good stuff. But anyways,
It's a joke.
So,
I don't care.
He
So-
doesn't bleep.
You think I'm bleeping out? It all stays in.
all right. So I think there's 12 or 13 or maybe 11 Chinese zodiac signs.
It would be cool to know
Which one
before you
is
start
it?
talking about it.
The goat, the horse, the
The
snake.
goat, Tom Brady,
No, dead serious. Goat, horse,
the donkey,
snake, a
the
donkey,
skink, the
monkey, skank. Yeah, definitely the skank. Classic. Actually, sorry, classic whore.
classic whore,
Classic whore.
village
all that
idiot.
stuff.
That's a good one.
And
The rat.
The rat, and there's also the dragon.
Yes, there is.
So why would they put that on there? But everything else is real. The skank, the rat, the horse, the snake, and then a dragon. Like, why just throw in a dragon? Everything else is real. Why not throw in fucking Blastoise?
Yeah, and the Chinese zodiac's real
See what
too.
I'm saying?
So that's
It seems more accurate than the girl one.
well, yeah, but
The
that's
girl
only
one.
in varying
I'm
degrees.
such a tailor.
A unicorn is
by-
more real than a Pegasus. It's like, yeah, they're both not real though.
There's
It's-
no unicorn on any of them.
I'm trying to give an
shit.
example of two unreal things. One's more real than the other. They're both not real, so who fucking cares? The zodiac is not real, whether it's Chinese, Japanese. Thank you, please. Look at these. It's all bullshit.
All right, maybe another episode we'll discuss this. But for
The
now,
Zodiac?
back to dragons.
Only zodiac I'm talking about is the guy who murdered a bunch of teenagers in the 60s.
The Zodiac
Maybe another
Killer.
episode. Maybe.
What a movie. It's a great movie. Dark. So,
Oh, is it? Is it dark?
on the placemat, it's a bunch of real animals
Right.
and the dragon.
Right.
Explain that, Joe.
You really want to do this already? I thought we wanted to build it up a little bit.
On to you. Let's go. Let's.
I had to
talk
stop
about-
myself from calling
Okay.
dragons fake. I
All
stuck
right.
to the zodiac just so we could do the
Okay.
episode.
We'll get back into that.
We'll get back to
let's
that
Talk about, let's talk about the origins of dragons. It did not start with the Bible. It started with cave
No.
paintings.
It started with what?
Cave paintings. Am I wrong?
Cave paintings? Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
wait. I fucked up. It went Chinese
time?
restaurant, placemat, then cave
then
paintings.
cave painting,
Of course.
then the
Yes.
Bible.
Then the Bible, yes. And then fucking recent sightings from SpaceX. In that order specifically, go.
You just look out of your your cockpit in your space rocket, and you see a dragon just winking at you as it slithers into the night.
Oh, we've got the video. It's going to be here.
Show me the
I'm
receipts.
sure we do.
The video of SpaceX Dragon right here, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll put that in there.
Oh, I fucking do. And
I'm also
going
gonna play
You will soon.
a video later, two videos. One of the ones, the one that sparked this whole discussion. We'll be playing that one. It's only 3 minutes, and I need to
It's
dive into
fantastic.
that teeth
All right,
first.
cool. As long as they know that now, that's great.
Yeah, well, I'm letting you know just so you don't say, "Hey, play that right here, Joe," because we're all going to talk about it. We're not just
No,
gonna
I just
play
want
it.
to see the SpaceX Dragon.
We'll see both of them. You go ahead and send me that link. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a fascinating idea of dragons that they're not only that old, they're as old as cave paintings, but they're found all around the world. There's no one culture that just says, hey, we discovered dragons, or we thought up dragons, or dragons attacked my dad, and then they decided that comes from there. Like ideas like, the Loch Ness Monster, that's from Scotland. And then it kind of peripheralated out. We all know about that's the Scottish thing, the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. But dragons, multiple cultures on almost every continent. I mean, if you don't count Antarctica, and I don't even know about their culture there, the ice wall people, they keep very silent to us. But every culture around the world just about has some kind of dragon mythos or some kind of dragon story to it, which, like we say in the past for other weird cryptid things, like that's a pretty big chunk of evidence there. You can't just say, oh yeah, some guy came up with the idea and then they all just believed it, like flat earth. Like they really all independently came up with this shit together. Granted, all their dragons are very different, but they are all considered dragons.
Whoa. What makes you think that?
Because there's about 1,000 different kinds of dragons all over the world, and if
But
they didn't
they're
have the
all-
name dragon, you wouldn't call them the same thing.
I don't know about that.
You would not.
I don't. Yeah.
If you see a snake and a lizard, are those both lizards, or was one a snake and one's a lizard?
I think you just told us. Let's stop playing mind games, Joe.
I mean, that even just regular animal, those are both called dragons in mythology. And if you don't add feathers or faces of a man or dragon,
It's like not all dogs look the
magic.
same, but they're all dogs.
they're all dogs. Yeah, yeah, but
Okay.
you wouldn't call a fox and a fucking bull mastiff the same animal, but they're both canines. When they say dragons in mythology, it's more like saying reptile or canine than it is like saying fox, because they're all very different.
Flies and breathes fire.
Many dragons
Not
don't
necessarily.
breathe fire. In South
Some of them
America,
don't
they
even
don't believe they
fly.
breathe fire. In China, they don't believe they breathe fire. In North America, there's no stories about dragons breathing fire. All the sea creature dragons, they don't breathe fire. It's not one of their aspects. I think one of the only aspects is they're reptilian.
You want to go right now?
Sure.
Where are you going? Can I come?
Let's fucking go. We got a whole podcast to
Let's
do.
fight this dude. I've read differently. I just know that.
You
Long
read
dragon-
that every dragon breathes fire? Because even if you grant the real dragon stuff, no one is saying every dragon breathes fire. I mean, there's sea serpents, the Hydra from Greek mythology, Chinese god dragons. None of them breathe fire, but they're all very famous, and most of them are more famous than the fire-breathing variety that came about in the Middle Ages in Germany. That's when they started breathing fire. In the
Toothless
history
from How to Train Your Dragon just shoots piss missiles out of his mouth.
yeah.
All right, but dragon representation is somewhat
It's important.
identical around the world. And I know that we can pull up 4 pictures, one from Mexico, one from New Mexico, one from Italy and West Africa, and those dragons all look about the same, and they're 2,000 years old.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they all look completely different. I was just addressing the fact that you said all dragons breathe fire, which is patently untrue
They have
for all
words,
dragons.
so let's do this like
Let's see what they have in common, what they
marriage
have
therapy. What
not
do
in
we
common.
have in common, as opposed to
Reptiles.
what are our differences?
They're all reptiles. I say that.
Reptilian
Reptilian, I
scales.
should say, not reptile. Reptilian.
Reptilian
They have the kind of
scales.
scaly skin and kind of reptilian kind of faces and
Claws.
Claws. Sure.
Wings.
Some of them have
reptilian
wings.
tail,
Some of them don't.
Sharp teeth.
Most of them have tails. I'd say almost all of them have tails.
I'd say 70.
And a lot of them don't have feet. A lot of them have no feet at all.
Percent of them breathe fire.
I would
you
say
tell me.
well
Here's the thing.
under that.
Until they started killing the dragons, it's pretty hard to get, because especially Native Americans, they were just flying around. It was kind of hard to get a real accurate description on them. So
Are you telling me they didn't have any,
Wait,
they
wait,
didn't have
wait,
any
wait.
cameras back then?
You had to kill them to get an accurate description on them?
yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
Think about it. Dude,
that the
it's
law?
like kind of sort of nighttime, or when you're scared, you're in the woods hunting buffalo, and when they
At
fly,
night.
they're
not a good time to hunt
and their-
buffalo, by
their
the way.
legs-
Daytime's a better time to hunt buffalo. But
Their legs go back into landing gear up position, so it's kind of hard to.
And
see
are you
them.
thinking of more like a wyvern kind of dragon, where it's just its arms are the wings and its feet are the claws, like kind of like a bird, or the dragon where it has 4 legs and then the wings are on the back?
God, that's a good question.
These are all details about
These-
dragons,
these are-
which would all be
that's a
different
good question
species.
that only you can answer.
But we
I think
say
the
all dragons.
answer to that question is it's one of life's greatest mysteries. Next question.
That's what we're here to talk about. You're going to have to start drilling down.
What kind of dragon am I thinking of?
What kind of dragons are in the, let's say, Native American,
I'm
North American?
thinking-
What do those
okay.
look like? Because I can't actually picture it in my
I
head.
think that they're more similar to the Shrek dragon, the girl that Donkey.
Okay, so
with,
4
where the
legs,
arms,
voluptuous
Yeah.
ass, beautiful eyes,
Pink lips,
giant purple, hot,
hot, definitely.
smoke show.
Breathes fire.
show. Yeah,
Gotcha. I feel like that's more of a European style dragon, but what do I know?
it's really more of a Spyro the Dragon.
Oh,
So
well,
small?
of course. I mean, look no further than to Spyro the Dragon. Tiny, purple, full of hatred, and spunk. And can
Sick.
shred it up on the skateboard.
And fucking cool as hell.
He's cool.
Gets followed around by a dragonfly.
No, but I think the dragons I'm thinking of are really more Lord of the Rings, where they don't. It's not a fucking elephant with wings.
That's
you know,
3 different things you've
Yeah,
said. that
which
they
Lord
are
of the
so
Rings
far,
dragon?
just
You
so
talking
you
about the Fellbeast or Smaug? Or are you talking about the giant dragon that's the size of like an entire town? That's from the Silmarillion. Which one?
definitely the Smaug.
Okay, so yeah, 4 legs,
No.
sits on a pile of gold, wings, breathes fire.
No, not really. More like got the legs, and then its arms are inside the wings,
Yeah, that's not
So,
the
like
one.
the
like a
first thing you
pterodactyl.
said.
Like a pterodactyl.
Yeah, so pterodactyl. Gotcha. That would be.
I might have got my Lord of the Rings trivia wrong.
Yeah, that's more like a fell
he
beast
was-
in Lord of the Rings, but
it's
but
more
yeah,
like a
no,
fell
yeah,
beast.
like the dragons. Well, how about just say the Skyrim dragons, the ones with their arms
The
with the wings,
Skyrim dragons,
they breathe fire, they
absolutely.
have horns, and they look cool as fuck, and they have the legs are big talons, basically like a pterodactyl, like you said there. I got you.
It's looking like to me the Native American dragons are the ones that are almost like a griffin, where they have full body, four
Feathers,
legs,
right?
wings in the back, lion face.
You are the Dragonborn.
Dovahkiin, Dragonborn. is his name.
Dragonborn.
In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Yeah, but that's just my idea of it. I think it's fascinating, but every single culture might have the thing dragon, like every culture might have the thing bear, but they're all different. Like they're all different kind of versions of it.
Most of the time, they're flying around. It's hard to get a good,
Almost always flying
a good
around.
lock on them, similar to
But a lot of the most famous dragons can be considered worms with a
Sea
Y or
serpents,
lindworms, which are like like a sea serpent. A sea
Here's-
serpent with a dragon
here's
face that has a
something-
big sea, like a big eel with a dragon head on it. Like the World Eater, Jormungandr, the World Eater snake, but it's like a big giant dragon, but it's like a serpent. I wouldn't call it a snake, but it's a dragon.
So the thing about the Native American dragons
Not a
I'm
rock.
seeing is their subgrouping is Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Not
yes.
sounding like they're breathing fire.
No,
Yeah.
it's the
Well, I think a
Thunderbird.
lot of the at least in the South American ones, they almost all have feathers. They don't have like bat wings with like gargoyle wings. They have like feathers. Like they're like
Scales, yeah,
basically
you're
a
right.
bird, like a giant, massive bird with like like a reptile like body, but like the head of a eagle and like the wings of a magic.
So
And
the,
the strength of an ox.
Thunderbird. So Dom, the Thunderbird is crossing the line to cryptid because the Thunderbird is technically cryptid, but it was also one of the names for it was the Van Meter Visitor. Early 1900s in Iowa.
I was gonna say, was that what they called it in fucking New Mexico, year 1000? The Van Meter Visitor.
Yeah, right.
Then you hit right to 1905. Here we
It
go.
was only 8 foot and it had a horn and it could project light from the horn.
That's
and it
pretty
used
cool.
to fly around during thunderstorms. And then it went back into a coal mine. They never saw it again.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I believe in Native American culture, the bird was
That's a
causing
native-
the thunder, not just showing up and turning on a headlamp for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like it would flap its wings, and that was the thunder. And
Cause
lightning.
the thunder.
Yeah, you called it down. But when you bring thunder into that, it's interesting because we talk about fire breathing being a big part of dragons. But in most mythology, more common than fire breathing is the thunder. Where in Japan, in Germany, in the Scandinavia, I believe also in South America, all of their major like dragon stories, the dragon comes, fucks everybody up, and then the god of thunder or the god of storms, you name your pick for whatever culture it is, that guy kills the dragon. So like it's very much associated not with fire, but with like lightning and thunder and rain and like a tempest coming over you. Like almost like when the storm rolls into town and destroys your town, it's a dragon bringing it in. It's not just the wind; it's the dragon needs to be slain by your
Dragging it in.
favorite XYZ name your hero kind of guy. Obviously Thor for the Nordic one. I don't know the other one's names, but yeah.
Yeah, who knows? So let's start back. You want to do some chronological? Let's just talk about it. Let's get back to.
Where were we?
start-
5,000
so we
BC
start. So
plus.
we're doing pretty well. 5,000 BC plus with Native American stuff.
Sure.
A great one is the Piazza bird. Sounds very Italian, like
Mike Piazza?
Yeah, Mike
Like
Piazza.
Piazza, yeah, exactly. He's probably his dad.
Sounds like a
His dad
metropolitan.
was a dragon.
His dad
dad's
was
dragon.
a Hall of Fame catcher for the New York Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was
Yeah.
discovered. This was discovered in the early 1900s. The Piazza bird, which was beautifully, absolutely gorgeously painted on the cliffs of the Mississippi River. You guys know where that is?
Ooh.
I do.
No.
It's on the Mississippi River.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
West of St. Louis, east of Kansas.
And the first guy to saw his name was Jacques Marquette. Saw this cave
Sounds
painting
French.
near the Native American area, and it was a fucking dragon painted on the wall. You can look it up right now.
Damn.
The Piazza bird.
We'll put that up right
And
now.
It was, and his number one thing that he said is like, okay, this is crazy. So, one, come on, let's get real. Why the fuck are people painting dragons on the walls of caves in the Mississippi River? Like, just to fucking, for fun?
Well, why does anyone paint anything ever? There's a lot of reasons why you might paint something, right?
Meaning's irrelevant here.
Do you know what the date is, what the painting's from? Because he could have painted that right before the hand and gone, "Oh, look at this! Can't believe it's."
Oh shit! If you pull
And
it
the
up,
cave painting is like from the time of like painting like buffalo and stick figure people and stuff
it
like
is that time, yeah.
All right,
exactly.
cool.
So they carbon date this stuff. They'd go through the radioactive
Oh
process.
yeah, I'm not saying they didn't. I just want
to
to make
figure
sure
it
that's
out,
the case.
and I spelled it really wrong. It's I mean, it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful painting. If you want to pull it up or share screen, or
you could do
this
it
later.
You know,
I definitely can. Yeah, I think it's worth my time to show
I think
you
so.
guys.
Let's do it. And we don't have to do it
Let's
later.
go.
I'll see it right now.
Yeah, that's the best way to do this.
I'm drunk now.
Damn it, Tom. Every time we say that, I have to put the clip in of Denzel saying,
I'm drunk now.
"Worth it."
So this
What
is
the fuck? That's a dragon? Fuck you. I thought it would at least have... It doesn't look like a lizard at all. It looks like an angry hedgehog with antlers.
with Hitler's
No,
Yes.
with
antlers.
antlers.
Come on, you telling me this is fake?
That's not a dragon. It's only a dragon
is-
because we said dragon already.
Sorry, it's a bird.
Bird
It's the Pia-
feet, bird
Piazza
feathers, beard, man face with underbite, antlers, and big red wing. That's it. That's
How
a
about,
bird.
how about you describe this to everyone, Joe? Please go.
I
in
just
detail.
did.
Just for the
Well,
listeners.
but
I just did.
When I described the Native American dragon, this is what I was looking at, and I used very different words.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all coming together.
So everyone has a different idea what it is, but this does not look reptilian to me at all.
You heard it here first, folks. Dragons are real.
The feet
This
look like
is-
a dragon feet because
we
dragon feet
probably could
often
end
look
the
like talons
podcast
of birds.
right now because we have this.
Also, it has a nose, like a person nose, like a regular. Clearly,
also-
a face, a person's
This also
face.
could be like the flag of California. Like it's.
That,
like,
it should be.
this is the flag
That would be
outside-
such a cool
outs-
flag.
Outside of the House of Representatives, this is the fucking flag.
It should be Mississippi's flag. If it was found in Mississippi, Mississippi should claim
Actually, yeah, why not? I
that. Way
mean,
better than
so-
the fucking stars and bars they've been hanging on to since their great grandpappy get lost in that traitor war that happened.
Seriously, so this is.
Wasn't that over states' rights to fuck your animals? I can never remember what that war was about.
Yeah, I think it was.
This is the mascot for the whole.
I think. I mean, don't get
That
me
time.
wrong. It looks awesome.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, exactly.
I want a T-shirt of it.
And you know what, guys? Just a thought: sticker, T-shirt, hat. Still enjoy this podcast.
Let's get
this
it.
bird. Let's think about this. Please write in the comments on our Instagram on any post we have that you want this. We'll make sure it happens. It's a pretty good hat, actually.
Great
So
hat.
it's the Piazza, Piasa, not Piazza, like the
Oh, not like the
Italian
catcher.
word.
Okay.
No. It's Piasa.
It's like pizza with an extra A.
Yeah. So we've got a bird
So
here
Piazza.
holding open its jacket full of drugs.
It's the side profile, but its face is
the
turned towards you.
side
It's almost like
profile.
Bigfoot, where he's walking sideways, but he turns to look. Just
always
to hit
looks.
the camera.
Yeah, and then he's got a
What does he have
tail.
going on in the top here, where it loops around like an umbilical cord under
That's
his
what I'm
legs?
saying. It's like a bunch of sausages with a whale
Yeah,
tail.
it's like golden
with a bunch
sausages
of whale tails
with
at
like
the end
a
coming
yeah. It has like a fish
under
tail
the
at end.
flag, probably around his asshole, coming out and
Yeah,
around through
it's
the
like
horns.
it's like one of those dogs where the tail goes up and then curls. Only this one just goes all the way around the body.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is this how your dog's tail looks? It goes up and out his asshole, over his head, and down out the back,
does
like an
it?
like
Well,
a
no,
like
but
like
I'm
a
not
like
talking
a
about a dog, I'm
aftermarket
talking about
Harley
a
Davidson
fucking dragon.
exhaust down the bottom.
Harley Davidson sock.
they
Also,
do the
Dylan,
whale
this is
tail
not
split
done in the
flips.
year 5000 BC. This is like very recent. Look at the details, the different colors. It's not cave paintings. This is a mural.
This is the fucking thing that I read about. Okay,
This doesn't have to be from last year, but this
I
is
know
not
it's not-
a cave painting with the white paint with the hands and the stick figures. Look at this. Look at the detail on this fucking
I
thing.
know
I'm
it's
pretty
not good
sure when
enough
I
for you,
saw it,
but
it was
this
from, like,
is
the
what it is. You have to
1600s.
Oh,
accept
fine, that's
this.
what it is. But I calls it like I sees it, and I sees it
You have
being
to
not a
accept
cave painting at all, and a basically graffiti,
You have to accept
beautiful
this.
graffiti.
Like the pizza guy, Piazza on the Mass Pike we talked about.
Yeah, like
Oh,
that.
pizza?
Except a little more,
This would take a little
Except,
longer.
you
a
know.
little long. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I mean, much more detail and
on the
more
back of the
artistry.
exit 16 sign. This is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Pizza. Yeah, good call. So here's just one example of back in time. This is Native American.
That's cool.
Situation here. I'm gonna stop sharing and let's move on to more chronological-ish sort of stuff.
Sure.
Who's up next?
Now that we're at, is that what we're supposed to do? We're all supposed to do examples of cave paintings. I didn't get the
toss,
memo.
Toss them in there chronologically. We're at Native Americans. Let's get them in.
The ones that I already talked about with South America, like the Incan tribes, is I think it's called Quetzalcoatl, and it's actually like one of the gods there, and it's the giant, thunderbird god. It things. They has paintings of it that look like actual cave paintings, where it's all just like line drawings, and it's not very detailed like that. Not beautiful colors. There's not eyes on it, but it's a similar idea of it. And I think unlike dragons that happen kind of in other like European mythologies, where they're kind of like a monster to be slain, in Incan culture and South American culture, pre-colonialism, it was treated as like a god, like a mythical creature that's like it's very powerful and important and to be respected, not a beast to be murdered. It's like, no, you don't kill Quetzalcoatl. He's like the fucking guy. He just exists, and that's the world that exists. You'll be alive and dead, and he'll still exist. On and on over than that. Not like a lot of ideas we have in modern dragons, where it's basically a monster that lives in the wilderness and it wants to eat, sheep or cows or your wife or whatever it needs to do. Much more of a reverence to it, which is the same as around the same time, and even more ancient actually, which is Chinese dragons, which they believe were depictions of gods, actual gods, and they weren't dangerous.
Voiced by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, they were river spirits, and they brought good luck, and they brought fortune to you. And anytime they had gods in their mythology, dragons rather, it wasn't like, hey, we have to go to the cave and fight the dragon, Dungeons and Dragons style. It was like you'd be graced by like Jesus Christ coming down, and being like, oh my God, it's the golden dragon, the Yangtze River, and he's like, here you go, here's some fucking food, and have a good time on your journey. You have my blessing. It's more of like a like Falcor from the Neverending Story. It's a friendly dragon who's powerful and here to help you. He's not going to try to eat you or breathe fire, but you must respect him because he could bring the world down on your head. And I think that a lot of cultures that were more ancient than that didn't treat dragons as fierce foes to fight in the woods. They treat them as like reverent beings that need to be respected and worshipped, which is not a lot like.
And here we are now. Look at how that works
now
out.
We don't respect them at all. We just go, you got to stick a sword in that thing and see if you can
now
beat it.
People, one of the worst days of my life was at someone we all knows, some of us know, house, and someone I don't like decided like, oh, hey, I'm going to like be the center of attention and fucking let's put in How to Train Your Dragon.
You can just say it's me, dude.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. It might have been me, honestly.
And
No.
and I don't. Neither of you were there. I know that.
No.
And we're gonna make it into a drinking game. And I was like, I fucking don't like this.
This is why Dylan hates dragons.
I'm
so
on
much,
board
'cause all
with
his dragon experiences are lame as hell.
They've been bad. They have not been good. Someone's jerking
Besides
off in my
Skyrim,
room, and
probably.
I'm kicking their bed.
Yeah, you're
Wait,
breathing
was he
fire.
jerking off the dragons at the time?
I don't know what he was thinking of.
He's
at
a
the time.
Dracosexual.
It was a different time, but you'd have to kick the bed to stop it, and the book.
Unpleasant.
Yeah. So, and then I also, my aunt, like, because there were horse girls who now obviously end up hot. We didn't see that.
And they're
coming.
dragon girls who end up fat.
Yep. And then there were dragon kids, like dragon boys, who.
Oh, dragon tails.
Dragon boys. Like, dragon kid. Like, my aunt all of a sudden thought that I was, like, a little aloof as a kid and kind of, like, liked fantasy. So she started buying me, like, the dragon something
That's
book.
awesome.
Yeah, I forget the name of the book.
You're definitely
And I was
aloof,
like,
but the fantasy that you're into is owning
Not
a
that.
fighter jet, not a dragon.
excellent fucking point. Thank you for
I am.
understanding who
I'm
I am.
indulging in fantasy as a child, but I don't believe in the dragon. I want an actual fucking fighter
so
jet, please.
This aunt bought me
How to
Pete's
train
Dra-
your F-16.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, in the skies over Vietnam, supersonic dogfights, including
Yeah, that's the fantasy you're involved in.
MiG-17 versus F-4 Phantom.
Yeah, you don't
on
wanna see a
sunny
dragon
day over Ho Chi Minh City, also in Saigon.
Saigon. The last dragon of Saigon.
Two MiG-17s were spotted by one F-4 Phantom. And anyways, I'm into that.
That's the kind of... No, I get that. Well,
That shit,
sometimes
I'm
family
into
members,
that.
they're trying to help you out,
Putting
but they can't
myself
really
in there.
get you.
Yeah, so I got Pete's Dragon as a book, and I was like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna give it a fucking shot. Let's see. Fucking sucked, dude. Hated it.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, because I think dragons
It's
are
okay.
cool as
I
hell.
still think about this. No, I just didn't like that because that's
I get that.
dragons. That's the whole point The whole point of talking about this was about that we respect the dragons, and we've got kids playing drinking games with dragons now.
No,
Like How to Train Your Dragon, the movie drinking game. No.
Yeah, I even mentioned Dragon Tales, the children's TV show where they walk around with dragons and like solve riddles, whatever. Those aren't fearsome at all.
Stupid. No. And buying your nephew, had Pete's Dragon for a book. No.
Oh yeah, Pete's Dragon. That's another one where dragons are like goofy companions, like a
like he's
bear.
like in his house, like the Magic Treehouse books with the dragon. I'm like, no, that's not how this is.
Yeah.
It was a good fucking intro to dragons to me. Take a guess.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Nice guess. Thanks. Next
Lord
guess.
of the Rings. They already said that one. No.
Yeah, definitely, but no. Reign of Fire, the video game.
Not the movie with Christian Bale.
Never saw the movie.
The
only
video
played
game.
the demo that came out.
Oh yeah,
on
the
Xbox.
demo even, not just the
demo.
game. The demo.
Not even the game. The demo was you drive around
never
like the
played the
warthog version of things. Oh, it's great.
Well,
game.
I've never seen the movie or played the game, but from what I understand about that movie, it's what if machine guns plus dragons? Is that basically what it is?
Yeah, but dragons were to be feared in that game. That was a big.
Well, I
problem
think that's
for
the
you.
idea of dragons throughout all of history. I think it's very, very modern thing to think of dragons as a cute. I mean, even when I'm talking about people not fearing dragons in the way it's like they're not trying to be monsters, they still feared their awesome power. Like people didn't think of dragons as like little chubby teammates or like a Pokemon hanging out with you. They thought of them as like this is a fearsome being who can take my whole world apart in a blink of an eye. Like it's very, very new thing to think that dragons are like a cute little buddy you can like kind of tame or like basically like a cat that's like kind of hard to get along with, but once it likes you, it's all good or whatever.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's why I said like a cat, and then I came to describe the similarities between dragons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying like all cats are dragons?
I wish they were.
I mean, hey, dogs lost their thumbs. Maybe cats lost their wings and fire breathing abilities.
I think they still have the fire breathing. That's why they're trying to hiss. They're trying to cough up the flames, so they're not able to do it anymore. They still have the reflex. Kind of like how I wag my tail when I see somebody I like, but I no longer have a tail. My ancestors lost that long ago.
Correct. Yeah.
My dragon tail. Dragon tail.
So Chinese dragons are in everything. They are them and the Native Americans. We can't really figure out who came first as far as the dragon stuff goes, but they're seeing them and they're right. Here's the thing: come the fuck on.
Come on.
Everyone, we've gone through this with multiple things, aliens, whatever. But like
Everyone
at the
sees them.
same time in history, everyone's seeing the same.
Not the same time in history. Not the same time.
Oh yeah. No.
Often thousands of years apart. But yes, everyone.
Oh,
knows.
even crazier. So all of a sudden, like one guy's like, I made this sick fucking painting on this wall. I just showed it to you.
Well, I mean, if they all existed all around the world at the same time, then everyone would notice them at the same time. But sometimes it took 500 years for the next
I
person.
forgot
500
that
years for
I
one
forgot
dude to
that you
then
can
just
only
make up
paint
this other
things that
thing.
you've seen before.
Yep.
That's a good point. Yeah, but come on, why is it all the same?
Not all the same. All different. We already established that. They're all
That's
different.
sort of the same.
Yeah, they're sort of the same. That's why we have. That's why we have a podcast today. If they were any more different, we wouldn't even be calling them dragons. They'd just be other. Well, how come every culture has mythical animals? It's like, well, yeah, because it's a thing humans do. They make up, fake stuff that's cool and scary and stuff like that.
That's true. But come on,
All cultures also
why not
have sea
something
monsters,
else?
but we wouldn't call every sea monster be like, well, they all have sea monsters, so sea monsters must have existed because every culture has sea monsters. Well, they all
Maybe.
look different. Yes, but they're all sea monsters, you see. And all these dragons look different, act different. Yes, but they're
Why
all
isn't it a
dragons,
fucking
you see.
spider in the ocean? Why is it always the Loch Ness monster looking thing?
Because spiders don't go in the ocean.
Okay, neither do Loch Ness monsters because apparently they don't exist.
They do. They did, and they do.
Well, I agree. Same with
Well,
dragons.
animals that look
How
like
come
a
a dragon-
plesiosaur did exist, and animals that look like snakes and iguanas do still go in the ocean today. And spiders don't
But dude,
swim.
they didn't know that, dude. Fucking Winston
But they could
Churchill
see
didn't even
things
know
like
about
that. They could
dinosaurs,
see
right?
a sea snake and they could go,
Oh no, they knew about dinosaurs in the 1800s.
Okay, sorry. So I meant like Abraham Lincoln didn't know dinosaurs existed.
The name
No,
dinosaur
he
was
didn't live
coined
long
in
enough.
1841 by Richard Owen, and it came from the Greek meaning badass lizard.
Interesting. I thought it was something like that. Sorry, so like most people didn't know dinosaurs existed, but at the time, for all of history, up until recently, literally up until the past 100 years, including, I will tell you a little fact here, dragons were just part of fucking everyone's shit. And up until recently, the past 100 years,
So
it
were
became,
angels.
like a fantasy thing and whatever. Don't me start on that. And like all this
And
other
giants.
stuff. Guess what the definition in 1946 Webster's dictionary was of the dragon?
I don't know.
I love
to
how we're
hear
jumping
it.
around so much. This is great. What is it?
In 1946, it says, dragon, now rare, a huge serpent.
It's the video I'm going to play later.
Yeah.
But it
This
starts
is the
off
video
as
I'm gonna play
now rare. All right, guys.
Yeah. So open and shut case, Johnson. We can end the podcast right now. It turns out they were real because Webster's Dictionary defined them as now rare.
Come on, why the fuck would they say that? What's that about?
Because they're fucking retarded like you. Of course they say it.
That's not fake news, dude.
It
This
is.
Webster's
It is.
Dictionary.
In 1946, they just still didn't consider
1946?
African Americans as the same species
Harvard
as
University
white people.
has been around for 200 years at that point.
Yeah, they used to have dragons there, but now they're rare. That's why they wrote it.
Now they're rare, exactly. Yeah, so just saying.
There's definitions for everything in the dictionary. Definitions
I
for
put that in
demons
all
and
capital
angels and
letters
everything else.
as my grand
Kraken.
slam on this court case is the
The great thing with the court case is the number one
Webster's
thing
Dictionary
that
from 1946
the number
after
one thing
the
that I
war.
mentioned to you was like the stupidest way to prove something is real is say it's in the book. It says it's real. Okay, the Bible was written well before Webster's Dictionary in 1946, and they mentioned dragons as well. So
They got a
why
lot
isn't
of
that
talk about
real?
dragons. I know about that kind of stuff.
And they also have
That's what I
seraphim,
Dictionary.
manticores, all kinds
We'll get
of
to
cool
SpaceX
shit.
soon, guys. Don't worry.
We'll get there.
And the cave paintings, and then everyone painting the same shit. Sorry, it's all similar. And,
Yep, it's all similar. Similar, I would
all
not argue
dragons.
with 1 point. Not 1
Why
point.
5,000 BC? That's 5,000 years before.
Well,
Jesus
do you think
Christ,
the dragons
our
started
Lord and
existing after
Savior.
that?
No, 5,000.
Wouldn't you say
BC.
dragons existed even before that? So
What were
that's
people doing 5,000 years ago, dude? That's actually sorry. That's 7,000 years ago. What?
Yeah.
6. What were people doing?
you know what they're doing. We've
What
talked
did
about it in
we
the podcast before. Göbekli Tepe. We've talked about ancient Giza. Like people have been farming crops, hunting shit down, painting shit that they see, and they
So
believe.
why
it.
fucking waste your time making the crest for the emperor a dragon?
Because
His
dragons
thing
are
with
hunters.
badass.
Was just the dragon.
Yeah, the flag of Wales today is a dragon. So that means that
So
the country of
explain
Wales
that.
still believes
Yeah, you
dragons
just-
existed because in 2024 their flag is a dragon on it.
You
Therefore,
just
they
incriminated
believe dragons
yourself
are
in this
real.
case of this law of court.
You can't wait to hear about how Spider-Man's real because I have a lot of literature about
not.
him living in Queens and being in New York City. Way more than dragons. I have pictures of him. Why would people write about this guy, Spider-Man, and depict... they even know his birthday, where he lives, his family, and you're saying all that literature
creepy.
about Spider-Man is not real?
I don't trust.
I have more proof for Spider-Man existing than I do for dragons. I have way more books about him. I have pictures of him.
Right,
I have
see you
people
next week
people
to
talk
discuss
about him
this.
all the time. There's movies made about him. He lives in a real place in real time. Oh no? So someone writing something down is not proof of something existing, right?
It is back then.
No, why? That's bullshit.
Not now.
Why do you mean not now? It either is or it isn't. It either
Now
is.
people have nothing else going on.
They have nothing else going on. Nothing else they have to keep behind. You know why cave paintings stay around for so long? Because they stayed underground and nothing fucking ruined them. Think about all the dragon writings we lost over the years. The people wrote about dragons,
They
about
were
how
like
they existed.
making comic books back then. They just were like, "Hey, this is important for our future."
Oh, comic
generations
books
to
don't count because
see
they're
these
new, right?
dragons.
Either writing things down on a piece of paper counts as evidence of something, or it doesn't. And you're saying it doesn't matter.
That is way too vague.
Okay, no, maybe it's a piece of it.
Back then, they didn't have
Maybe
fucking
writing
paper.
something
They
down
had
is a piece of
cave.
evidence that could lead you to a lighter conclusion, right? Maybe if you had evidence of like it's prey or maybe it's bones.
We've gone through this, like with the caves, and all of a sudden, like there's paintings of their people and the buffalo and the
Yeah, we have a lot of evidence for
and
people
them
in Buffalo
eating
beyond
food
paintings.
and the
though, right?
fire and the whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's a fucking flying UFO. And it's like, all right, so what's that about? Like everything looks good, and there's like, oh, we're just gonna fucking draw this bullshit.
I don't know. You tell me. That means it's real because the one thing is that. So if it's old enough, then we have to believe it because there's no one around. But if someone has a Spider-Man comic now, bullshit because we know Spider-Man's not real. It's made up by the guy. Yeah, that's shitty. That's shit evidence. What it is that you can take that piece of it. When we see a buffalo, we see people painted in a cave. We have evidence for buffalo. We have evidence for caves. We have evidence for how they hunted. We have the arrowheads. We have their diet. Sometimes we can find the exact food in the bones they ate. We know that they wear buffalo skins. We know about their habitat. We know everything about the buffalo. and then you see a buffalo in a cave painting, and you go, aha, buffalo. Then you see a dragon, and you go, well, that's just as real as a buffalo. Why wouldn't it be? Well, because buffalo have a lot more evidence for them than the dragon.
Want to know why?
Why?
Oh, we know why. Dom, you know why?
I can't wait to hear what this is.
Let's take a commercial break, and after that, we're going to tell you
Commercial break.
why.
We're going to tell you why buffalo are the ones on the walls that you still see and we find their bones, and why dragons aren't.
Let's
You guys
fucking
shortly.
do it.
But no one wanted to believe. Believe they even existed. And when the truth finally dawns, it dawns in fire. But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
And welcome back to two guys arguing about dragons. We're going to move forward a little bit in time with dragons. Move on to another... Oh my god, a dragon. Okay. I don't know what to do now. Dylan?
For the listeners, I just breathed dragon smoke through
I'm
my
not
nose.
sitting
So
next to
scared
you. I
Dom.
don't know if you know that.
You're not?
Joe is.
And my screen, Dylan's in the middle.
Oh, fuck. We're all fucked.
I thought I was alone in this room.
Dom, use a wooden stake through the heart.
Ew! All the dragon smoke made me sneeze.
Like this wooden
back in
letter
the pod.
opener that I found in my house?
Yes. That will work great.
So now we're going to get into, I think, people's defense, or I guess they don't see it as a defense. They see it as an accusation that we're all forced to defend everyone else on the entire planet. I love a good conspiracy where it's everyone else's problem and not theirs, even though they had the idea. That's crazy. About how dragons are real, and the government and the scientists are trying to hide it from us. And there's a lot of reasons why they are real. I don't know the reasons why they're trying to hide it, but we're going to find that out now.
Well, because just like everything, they take the good things away from us that are like the government wants to be all powerful, and just like how the Washington Monument is built around the eternal tree to prevent it from growing too big and taking over being our god. Similar reason for dragons.
I would say so. Yeah. I really would. The reason is similar, definitely. Complete and utter bullshit.
Similar reason. And before I left to go pee for the last break, as you guys remember, I was going to say something very important.
Okay, well, let's hear that now before we dive into our why dragons are actually real.
I'm going to interview you guys a couple questions. So
Sure.
Tell me about dinosaurs and the process of fossilization. Who wants to raise their hand and go first?
Dom, you want to take this one?
Take this one?
I believe we've already described it to Dylan once before, and he didn't believe us then either.
Okay.
That they're not bones.
They're rocks.
It's a rock. Yeah. I still can't figure it out, but
That's
I
the whole
know-
thing? You want me to
I
do
know
more
this
than
is-
that?
I know this is true.
I thought I was setting up Dom, and he just was like, nah, I got this. They're rocks.
Somehow it's a fucking rock.
It is. Well, there's different kinds of fossils. There's also fossils that can be preserved in amber, right? Those aren't rocks. They have
The
actual mosquitoes.
But we call that a fossil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fossils
We
are all versions of ancient biology that is still preserved in some way or another. They're all
Petrified wood?
Petrified wood's a
fossil.
fossil too, yeah.
Petrified wood's a rock.
Yeah, rocks are fossils.
But a real mosquito you can take the blood out of in amber is not a rock.
No, but
In
it's still a
movies,
fossil. We're on the same page here. Not everything is both things at once. You can be two. Fossils can be multiple things, but not all things are fossils. An amber
It's like the
mosquito's a
jacuzzi.
fossil. A rock's a
There's
fossil.
no
They're both
D-
fossils.
There's no DNA in a fossil that's a rock.
No, there's no
No,
DNA.
DNA isn't required for it to be a fossil.
It doesn't have to
There's
have DNA.
in the mosquito in the
Yeah.
amber.
Yeah, in Jurassic Park there is.
So
yeah,
we should
yes.
be
But fossils are
breaking
a
this down a
larger
little bit.
term, my friend. It's like saying, well, a cat's a mammal and a deer's a mammal, but cats don't have antlers, so how are cats mammals? It's like, well, the fossil means all the shit, and there's different versions of it. People that are preserved in peat bogs and shit like that, those bones, they're not petrified. They're not in amber either. They're still fossils. They're fossils of people that used to exist. And
So what are the rock ones called? What are we calling those?
There's got to be a name for them, but they're a particular kind of fossil, and
Rock
all
fossil.
dinosaur bones, the ones we had the bones.
But it wasn't a rock.
Those are all
those
fossils.
bones or rocks?
None of them are bones. They're not. None of them. Bones
even
don't
the
last
fucking
millions
T-Rex-
and millions and millions of years.
Would they could? If
No,
you
they
did.
could
No,
not.
they
Not.
don't.
I mean, not unless they're preserved in amber or whatever else. It has to have some kind of preservation around it. And bones that are buried in
like
the dirt.
a bog with no oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be
but yeah,
bones.
no.
But like you go see
Fossils
the T-Rex
are
at
basically-
the Smithsonian. That's a fucking rock.
Yeah.
It's fucking
All those dinosaur bones don't have any genetic material in them anymore. Like you said, they're not biological bones anymore.
Otherwise, we would
Bones-
have more examples of what they actually looked like.
Yeah, then we'd have their fucking skin. Or
Whether
whatever
they
else.
have feathers or not.
Now,
Well,
when
the
it comes
guy-
to a
the
scale
guy-
of millions
the
and
guy-
millions of years, bones can't last that long. So what happens is the minerals replace what's in the bone as the thing is crushed down, and then what's left over is, in very few cases, because we probably have 0.0000001% of the dinosaurs that were still around. Most of them are dissolved into shit, or we put them in our cars to make them go fast. They're not all dinosaur bones that are in a big bone pile under the sea. What we're thinking of more is like the mammoth bones, right? That's from like 10,000 years ago. Now those are still bones because it didn't take so long for us to get them. What's up, Chucky? They didn't take so long for us to get them, so they can still stay bones. But after 60 million years, there are no bones that exist anymore from that time that aren't preserved in some form.
Chicky, don't
But the bones are their money.
And so are the worms.
So, Joe, if you go take a shit, here's the thing: just because you find you find fossilized shit. This is coming full circle. Don't. I'm gonna hit you guys.
I
hard.
believe you. You're a
hard.
fucking podcaster.
Hit you hard with a fucking thing later. Is you go take a shit in your backyard?
Can you tilt your mic down a little bit? It's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh yeah. You wait. You take a shit in your backyard on the grass, and then you wait 60 million years, and you now have a fucking fossil,
No,
a rock.
that's the thing. Almost all dinosaurs that died there's no evidence of them ever existing now.
So what's up with the footprints and the bullshit? Like what the fuck?
They had to be preserved. All those things we have are preserved in some special, weird circumstances. Like the La Brea tar pits.
Fossilized shit. I mean, yes.
The La Brea tar pits is a little section of California where there's actually that
The La Brea
tar
tar
there.
pits?
Yeah, so that when the thing sank down, they were covered in tar for millions of years. That way we can still see them. But if they died on the beach in, Long Beach, California, those
Right.
are gone. We have no evidence of that anymore. They're all gone. The footprints and things like that are been preserved in riverbeds or places that are maintained this evidence for millions of years. That's why it's so rare. It's so hard to find it, and why scientists need to do a lot of work to figure out why they're there, how they're there, and everything else. All these fossils and shit like that, there's almost none of them. That's why it's so wild. If you could just see a fossil every day, everyone would believe in dinosaurs and no one would argue about dragons in the Bible. But here we are doing a podcast about it because they're not that common. Even though
All right,
there was millions and billions of
question.
them all over the place for years and years.
Since you're the expert, last question
Sure.
is: if you took a shit in your yard 300 feet down,
Underground, you mean?
and had dirt about it, it's like 10 million years from now, would there be a rock?
No way. First of all, shit is like biological matter. It's like waste product.
so
It would
is
probably
our-
be gone in a week. Like
so
the
is our
animals would eat
body.
it. It would
I
sink
said,
into the dirt.
I said like 200 feet down. There's no animals there.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? How far is
Worms
200 feet?
there, man. 200 feet.
Sure.
some
No? There's not bacteria 200 feet down?
Then how does fossilized shit exist?
I just told you it's extreme odd
All
circumstances.
right, I'm moving on. So, all right.
Because you can't imagine it, it's not real. I mean, we have
We're
100,000
talking about
archaeologists
dragons
that
here,
have
buddy.
analyzed.
my friend. Whoa, we're coming around on something, aren't we? So, because it doesn't make sense, it doesn't exist, right, Joe? So, dragons.
No, because you can't imagine it doesn't exist.
Neither can you.
I can't. No, I
Dragons.
can't imagine it, and I can also reference all the experts that teach me about it, who teach me how to learn about the world.
Yeah, you're talking to two of them.
You're like a 4-year-old talking to your dad about how to drive a car right now.
Never
Well, I don't
had
know
to.
how to drive it, so you don't know either. No, I do know how to drive it. I'm an adult man who knows how to work
I'm
an
certain I
engine.
know how to drive a car for.
Maybe that was a bad example.
Pretty bad example.
Expert.
So
what I'm saying is, just because you can't imagine it's true, because you go, the Earth is spinning 24 hours a day. It's spinning around.
dragons used to be real.
It's going very fast. I can't feel the Earth spinning right now, and so I can't imagine it spinning. It doesn't feel like it's spinning,
probably
so it's
flat.
not. No, it is though. That's the thing. It is spinning. It's because
probably
you can't perceive
fucking
it doesn't mean it's not real.
Big giant flat fucking.
I'm not saying I can't
pool table in
conceive
the middle of
of
space.
dragons. I can
Well, I
conceive
guess.
of them, but my mentality and my learning knows, okay, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
because of astronauts.
You think everything I think is because I can imagine it or not? Like, come on, man.
I imagine some good stuff sometimes.
Yeah, that
so-
doesn't mean it's real.
Here's the heavy hitter. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into it.
This is why dragons were part of history for all of history, except for 100 years ago. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're rare now. See? And,
Check the dictionary, 1943.
1946, they're rare. Now rare, but used to be a real big part of our lives. All over caves. All over caves. All over fucking books.
All over caves in Mississippi in 1905.
All over people's families' crests in China in
Certainly.
2,000 years ago, whatever it is. Guess why? They aren't around. You don't see any evidence. No fossils. No fucking amber dragon.
Well, there's fossils of them. We can get into that, too.
No amber dragons. There's no fossils.
No, there's fossils of dragons.
Because they have porous bones like birds, so they dissolve immediately.
There it
Not
is.
enough time
There we
to
go.
be a fucking real fossil like a T-Rex.
Yeah, there's no bird fossils.
So
Oh,
they're-
wait.
It's almost
There's
like he understands how it
thousands and
works.
thousands and thousands of bird fossils. Oh, shit. That fucking fell apart really fast, huh? And those are birds,
Yep.
too. And those aren't even dragons.
Yeah. Well, they did find dragon bones in China.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that TikTok too. No, but see what you just did? You saw one video and it goes, birds' bones are porous. Birds' bones can't fossilize. Therefore, dragons, you can't see the bones because they weren't fossilized. Birds' bones can fossilize. We have bird fossils. What do we do now? You just have to look it up for 5 seconds to figure it out. But that's the whole
That's
theory.
because they just
someone
felt-
tells you something with a hat on with a TikTok, and they go, "Oh, that's the truth now." Birds' bones can't fossilize. They have so many fossilized birds. We have the genetic record between when dinosaurs existed up till now, and how the modern birds are dinosaurs. We can see bit by bit, year by year, fossilized bird bones, and how they became more porous over time as they got smaller, so they could fly. I don't even know if pterosaurs' bones were hollow or spongy or not, but we have fossils of them. They do exist. And if
Interesting.
dragons existed, if they were dinosaurs, this is the idea that dinosaurs had wings and they were dragons, but you can't see the wings, so you can't tell they're dragons.
Right.
We have winged dinosaur fossils, so what happened to the non-winged dinosaur fossils? Unless dinosaurs just are dragons to begin with.
Well, it's probably related,
Okay. The other aspect of it is that
but they blow fire, so that's a little.
it says they can't fossilize, but we are saying that dragons existed alongside with humans, which means they don't need the 10 million years thing we were talking about earlier. They only need a couple thousand years, which we still have mammoth bones. And we have birds from that period, too, that aren't even fossils. They're just bones. Just like
The
those
bone- like
mammoths.
the boner guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
your-
have
your
bird
favorite
bones
guy.
from then, too. Yeah, there's ancient eagle bones that we have. They're not even fossils. They're actual bones in similar circumstances to the mammoth bones, where they're still preserved because it didn't take so long that they had to fossilize.
So we'll talk about. I think this is a good time to segue into
Sure.
obviously the 2017 dragon bones found in China. We'll get to that in a second.
Let's
But
get to that.
Pre-2017 dragon bones, we had a couple things going on. In the bygone century, encounters were written down as a fact. Like, this is, we are encountering dragons, this is a thing. 8th century, recorded by John Damascus. We all know him, right?
Damascus Steel.
It will kill. Roman army, the Roman army got surprised by a dragon rising up behind them. They
That's supposed to
slayed
be
it,
terrifying.
skinned it, and sent the skin back to Rome. Can you believe
Wow.
that? I can. And then
Of course
also,
you can, 'cause you want to.
also look up Flams, like Flams Germany.
Flim-flams.
Flams Deutschland.
Flams Deutschland.
Flams?
Ah.
Flams?
Famous for its dragon's fire in the 16th to 18th century. So we're talking 1500s to 1700s. All they did to prove their whole point of those 300 years of Flams Germany was to make sure people know dragons are real. So they
Noble cause, if any.
Sounds like a cult.
they slayed dragons
Cult of the
and
Dragon.
hung up all their bones across the city to prove they're real. Prove that
Wow.
one, Joe. Prove that wrong.
What do you mean prove that wrong? They hung up the bones of the city to prove they're real? What's that mean?
The dragon bone.
How do they know they're dragon bones?
Because they make better armor.
I played Skyrim too.
Yeah, you know. So we know this.
You're proving me right by you just explaining this. This is great.
Why
Easy.
is this? But here's the thing. Come on. Why is it so widespread?
So in the year
What the fuck?
1500,
Why
a
not-
small
why
German
not
town
fucking Shrek?
wrote down that they hung dragon bones, and you're like, that's all the evidence I need.
I'm good.
You don't even need. You don't like evidence. I don't know why you start liking evidence now. You don't like evidence at all. You
I've
like
been
the
watching
story.
Better Call Saul on repeat for 3 fucking seasons.
Better
in
Call
like
Saul
1
is
week.
a great show. I'll tell you
It's
that.
fucking great. But now I'm like, I'm gonna approach this as a lawyer.
Yeah, well, lawyers like to bring a thing to the court called evidence. It's really good.
Yeah, and
persuade the jury.
hearsay is not great evidence.
Yeah, and all your
No.
evidence is all hearsay. This entire
No,
podcast,
this is all
and
written
mine
down.
comes from concrete
It's all
evidence, testing, hypotheses, the scientific method over and over again.
All right, then let's talk
trends
about
over years and years.
what the
multiple
fuck-
data points like written plus fossils plus biological evidence plus
It's
carbon
all a
dating
bunch
all
of
together.
bullshit,
It's all
you
evidence.
think about
and
it.
you have a guy told a story one time and drew a painting about it, which is the same as everything else.
All right, so let's get back to present day. What the fuck is up with that video of the 2017
Well,
Dragon
hold
Bones
on
found in
now.
China?
Can I talk
Wait a
about
minute, give Dom a
dragons?
second to interject here.
What, Dom?
Can I talk about dragons?
Yes. That's why we're here. Fill
Go
us in
for it,
before
Dom.
we get there. It'd be
I
nice
have
for
a
everyone to hear.
great story from the Bible about dragons.
Oh,
Let's
St.
do
George?
No,
He's not
although
in the
St. George
Bible.
was the original dragon slayer, which
So who fucking
actually
just
he
makes
didn't
that
even,
up?
so St. George, he didn't even slay a dragon. He there was a village with this dragon that was tormenting them and needed tribute all like every once in a while, so he would like give me food and I won't burn down your village.
Nice.
And it started off being like 2 sheep every month, and that wasn't enough. So it was a man and a sheep. Then eventually,
You give a dragon a sheep.
then they had to start giving up their children
Wait,
to the
I
dragon.
wrote that he did fuck the dragon. So he...
I'm not
You wrote
saying
that?
I'm not talking
No.
about donkey.
No, St. George and the dragon. This was the
Saint-
3rd century, so 200 AD, and St. George was a soldier in the Roman armory.
Can I just say one thing, then I'll let you finish reading? I love that I didn't
not
even
reading.
get to St. George yet. And then he started going, well, but St. George did this.
Well, I know some stuff.
It's his
from-
middle name, so he's very attached to the
It
guy.
is, yeah.
He's
so,
a cool guy. Let's hear about him.
So he's in the Roman army in 200-ish AD, and a dragon came running at him and his group, and St. George was on his horse and fucked up the dragon.
I thought you said he fucked the dragon.
No, he fucked it
Yeah.
up. My bad, I got confused.
Yeah. I also thought the story was that he killed the dragon. Like there's paintings of
Yeah,
him with the
killed the
dragon.
fucking dragon.
The story I heard
Let's
today,
hear the story that Dom heard about it.
story I heard today is St. George eventually showed up or whatever and like took control of the dragon and brought it back to the village to be like, hey, look at my new pet. And everyone freaked the fuck out. And he's like, no, it's okay. He's mine now.
He made him apologize. He stuck his face in it. He goes, "Look at all those dead kids.
Look at what you
better
did."
Apologize." He hit him with a newspaper.
But I will
No.
admit, when I heard that story today, it didn't sound right.
Well, I mean, it's probably as true as the other story, if that's any defense.
But so this my story has to do with another saint. Her original name was Margaret of Antioch, also known as Saint Marina, the Great Martyr.
I forget where Antioch is. Does anyone remember where that is?
I don't remember where it is.
I looked it up like 8 times, and every time I look it up, I forget what it is.
What ends in ch in words of culture? Like, is that a OCH? Like, is that a European word?
help you.
I have no idea.
Well, it could be a Latin word.
It probably is.
It's in Greece.
It's not a Latin word.
No, but I'm in the right area.
Anyway, so Margaret was born into a pagan family,
Maggie.
and her mother died at birth. So this Christian nurse like took care of her as a baby,
Sounds like
Makes
a
sense.
Jersey Devil situation.
started teaching her Christianity, so she became a Christian. So then Maggie, Dylan, I like that. I'm going to call her Maggie.
Maggie's
then
easy.
Maggie-
So much easier, dude.
Because Maggie chose God, her father disowned her. She got adopted by the
Classic.
Christian nurse.
Oh wow.
So as a nurse, she was
Rebel at
around
the
a lot
time.
of around a lot of prestigious people as someone that knows medicine, and
You know medicine?
I know medicine.
He's talking about Maggie.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I got confused again.
A Roman governor took quite the fancy to young Maggie and said, "Hey, you're gonna marry me."
You're a virgin. I like virgins.
But first, you have to denounce your Christian God. And guess what she said?
Go to
No.
hell, you old bag.
Yeah.
So he sent her to the dungeon to get imprisoned and tortured.
I was gonna say now you
as
know
he
she
should.
became a saint. It's so
As
easy.
he-
Just
as
believe
he-
in God and get murdered really
But
fast.
hold on
As
now.
he should have.
Hold on now, Governor. One night,
She had it coming. Look how she's dressed with a
What
cross
do you
around her
think
neck.
happens when you do that?
she's wearing purple.
I always tell people, I tell everyone this: suck the dick, then bite it off.
That's how you do it.
You can't just be like, no, I'm gonna die for this. Like, no, don't.
Yeah.
You go, hey,
Make them
let's.
pay.
You know what? I've always been attracted to you. Let's fucking go right now. I'm gonna give you a favor. Make this nice. I don't care if you're a girl or a boy. Make it nice, and then bite down as hard as you can, and fucking, you're done. You're good. You're good to go. Yes,
go.
that sucks, but you're not dead anymore, and that guy's no dick.
Oh, you're still gonna die, but he's probably gonna die too.
He's gonna bleed out, dude. A lot of blood flow there.
Yeah, no, he'll
Yeah,
probably
but
die too.
you're
But,
pretty close
but you're
to
not. You mean you're not dead? They're gonna fucking kill you right after that.
You
But at
bought
least you got
some
him.
time. No, you're not with other people. It's a private moment.
No,
You
no,
don't know that.
you will be killed. But like you get your revenge. I agree with you. Don't just
But
don't
you
just
bought
get
yourself
killed.
some time. You can figure.
Yeah.
You now might be able to make a plan to get out of the castle.
There you go.
Cross
Like
the alligator trench. There's all sorts of things you can do.
Dragon
So
French.
one night when she was in her prison, the devil came to her.
My own prison?
in the not no. I did not say that.
You have to clarify these things, or else we're just gonna not. You know,
It's almost like I said in her prison, and you said my own prison.
her own prison.
I shot the clerk.
Well, let's go then.
So the devil came to her in the form of a dragon,
Interesting.
Oh,
Not just the devil.
and
Dragon Devil.
her prayers were ignored as the devil swallowed her whole.
Where is God? Holy shit! You think he'd stick up for his new group?
So while she was inside his stomach in one piece, fully alive, she went like this, 2 sticks across.
like Steve Spiro.
Because when I walked in Waterloo and smiled at people, they treated me like a vampire. They used the cross and they went like this by not smiling at me.
And the dragon started to feel like his insides are being torn apart. So he opened his mouth and she climbed out, surviving the dragon.
Wow.
And
His insides are being torn apart. Now he knows how she feels.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
happy
man.
story, right? Shortly after
Not
she got decapitated for denying the marriage to the governor.
There we go.
Yeah, it
See, you can
happens.
buy yourself some time, but not
Martyr.
much. Now you're a saint. Saint Maggie of Antioch, that we hardly knew ye. So that's an interesting one. The devil's involved because my Bible stories that I heard don't have the devil changing into a dragon. That's an interesting take.
It's a nice take.
The beast.
Well, and if dragons are real, then the devil has to be real.
Yeah. You admit that. And also, if that's real, then they don't serve ice cream.
Asian culture does not make them out to be evil or
No.
bad spirits.
No, that's
They're
a
good
very
spirits.
European
Very Catholic
medieval thing.
Yeah.
A
That
real,
also is, they think that, historians do think that a big part of dragon slaying comes from the stories of, like, Christians fighting off, like, pagans. Like, oh, yeah, I slayed the dragon. In other words, I'm Christian, God protects me, and the monsters, can't affect me. These people who worship
Imagine
monsters and
imagine you're on the
demons.
crusade trying to
killed.
convert people to religion. It's like, dude, our religion's so cool. We have dragons, and we're not even scared of them.
Well, I'm scared of them.
Cause we can beat them up.
We just
They
fuck
are
'em up.
scary, but we're not scared of them. You
Yeah.
should be a Christian.
See this cross on my shield? It protects me from. He gets stabbed as he's trying to explain it. I can beat a dragon with this shield. Oh,
They
yeah?
go, all right, send out the first wave. It's just a bunch of guys in white shirts with black ties and clipboards.
Okay. We're out the rails. So anyway, on that same topic, I think that there's a lot of Christians in America right now that do believe in dragons. They don't believe in tons of things that we have evidence for, but they believe in dragons. Now, why is that? Obviously, stories like Maggie of Antioch help with that, even though it's not in the Bible. But there are mentions of, lizard-like beasts in the Bible and people having to come into contact with them. But the main reason why they do is because it's fundamental Christianity, which means they don't believe in the earth being 4 billion years old, and they definitely don't believe in evolution. So what the fuck are all these dinosaur fossils doing here? Their explanation is they are not dinosaurs. They're dragons. And the dragons people wrote about lived alongside humans. That's why humans could fight dragons. Humans saw dragons. And that's why we have these dragon bones, or dragon fossils rather, under the dirt, because they existed at the same time as humans, but they just weren't. They weren't dinosaurs. They were dragons, you see. You see this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you say.
Even though you could date those fossils to 60 million years ago, who really believes about carbon dating anyway? So yeah, that's their take on it, is that dragons are real because they have to be real, because if they're not real, then dinosaurs are real, and then my book isn't real. Is that good enough evidence for you, Dylan? They're on your side on this one.
They're on my side on this one. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Works for me. I thought it'd also be worth mentioning that in the 1960s, this is evidence to your side here, Dr.
You're just
Javier
digging your own grave at this point.
Dunkea, he received a rock, because he collects all these artifacts.
But it wasn't a rock.
One of his friends sent him a rock with glyphs on it. And this isn't just like the picture at Piazza, or like, you know, the old pictures of dragons where it looks like, you know, a giant bird or like a giant lizard. This thing is literally like a drawing of a triceratops, a drawing of a stegosaurus. Like it has the like it's a straight up, not a dragon. It's like a dinosaur with people who drew it. So like, how would they have known what the dinosaurs looked like? Because they only knew about dragons, but they have like he said over 100 pieces, and one of them a guy's riding the thing like a dragon rider. But there's like literally you can see it. It's a picture of like a stegosaurus,
Like
spiky
a pioneer
tail,
in the rock.
everything. So like, how would they have known in these ancient times when they drew this rock? How would they have known about all these dinosaurs and what they looked like? Now we all know now. Like you said, 1800s we know, but like they wouldn't have known back then. So like, how are all these rocks having all these, not just like vaguely dinosaur, like literally has the nose spike and the sides of it and everything. How would they have known
me?
that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they're fucking not real. He said he bought a ton of these things. And the guy collects ancient stuff, and he still bought a bunch of them. And it's like, yeah, those aren't real. That's why. So they knew.
I've drawn some sick shit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like I've made up some cool fucking animals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It didn't catch on. Why the fuck is this
Catch
shit
on?
catching on? Yeah, they're all drawing the same
Well,
shit.
leave it
All over
somewhere.
the world.
Maybe in
The
1,000
world's
years, people will be
big.
like, "Oh my god, a real animal."
Maybe if you drew a dragon, and 1,000 years from now, they would think that your drawing,
Dude,
is as real.
they're
All
not.
you're saying is that they did what you did, but they did it like other people, so that they're real then.
No, at the exact same time in history,
Nope.
every
We already established
single
it's not the same
hot
time.
spot of the earth, people are fucking drawing dragons on the caves.
They were also drawing angels, and they were drawing
Yeah,
gods.
so let's fucking sure.
So those are all real then. As
Yeah.
long as everyone agrees that a concept
What
exists and we
else
can
are they
depict it,
fucking
therefore
drawing?
it's real.
Just dude, they would just be jerking.
I
off
already
all-
gave a million
If they wanted
examples
to
of
have
what
a
they could be
great time,
drawing.
they wouldn't just be drawing shit. They'd be drinking alcohol and jerking off and having sex.
So now your argument is that why draw anything ever? Just jerk off. That's a whole different argument.
Why
I
try
don't have
anything?
that argument.
Why draw everything ever unless it's important? Like this is very important. We have to draw this dragon.
Of course it's important. They drew a lot
have
of
to
fucking
draw
too.
the fucking
They drew
dragon.
sex, they drew food, they drew crops, they drew angels, they drew gods, they drew demons. They drew everything that was important to them.
And they didn't draw
Dragons
a giant,
are important to them.
They didn't draw a giant fucking rat man with headphones on.
No, because they didn't. That was important to them.
Why?
Dragons were important because they're part
They
of their
were.
culture.
They're great because they're
Like
real.
in China, they viewed them as godlike being. Of course, it's important. It doesn't mean they're real. It just means they're important to their culture.
they
They
made
drew
it
things
up?
that are important to them. A lot of things that are important aren't fucking real.
People weren't making
Like being
shit
in
up
love.
Oh, people are always making shit up. What are you talking about?
then. I know we're all the same. But
You
we
know
ain't
how
the
many
same.
drawings of Sonic the Hedgehog there are online? More than any dragon. He's not
Because
any
now-
more
but
real than
now
the dragon
we
is.
know. Way
And a
more.
lot of
There's
them are Sonic jacking off too.
There's
So
probably
it doesn't make it real.
50,000 actual
How
authentic
were
dragon
people in
drawings.
Japan and Russia and America all at the same time in 1991 started drawing the same blue hedgehog with sneakers on? You're
Because
trying
we
to tell
had
me
the
that that's not
fucking
real?
internet and phones and mail. Back then, we didn't have
They
shit.
didn't have the internet back then.
We had fucking Buffalo, dude. We didn't have fucking shit.
We have more buffalo now, thankfully, than we did when Sonic the Hedgehog was made.
I hope so. That'd be sad. But I think you're fucked. Anyways, let's take a commercial break. Go to final thoughts. Take it from
Wait a minute, we gotta play some videos after this.
Yeah.
But then we're going to final thoughts.
Yeah, we do. All right, it's bathroom time.
Love you.
Is that crazy guy still coming to my door?
I thought I told you to get out of here.
So good to see you, my friend. You told me to get out of here. Not this weekend. That was last weekend. This weekend is very special. It's the anniversary of the first time I met you. Remember?
Brother, it's been 12 hours since the last time you were at my door.
I can't wait to see you again, you little scooty.
Don't touch me with your pole.
You little scooty boot. I just miss you so badly. Don't you forget our anniversary, my friend. Why don't you invite me in?
I think you're insane. What are you talking about? Invite you in? Are you a wizard? You can only come in if I invite you?
No. Just invite me in. Go ahead. My friend's
What if I tell you I don't like you? Or your fancy pants gloves? What do you think about that?
I think you guys to joke around. You're a really funny guy. Anyways, invite me in.
I'm not inviting you in. You're not coming in here. There's no way you're coming in here.
Why not? Remember the last time we hung out?
And you know what?
We first met.
One step more.
You and I.
Fucking guy. If that guy comes around one more time, I'll need a lawyer.
Welcome back to the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast. If you sign up now, you can win a full day of falconry with RFK and Donald Trump Jr. We all signed up. We're hoping we're going to win. And if we do, I hope they're Mia Khalifa and I'm the dog shit guy. That'll be for the deep fans. Here we go. We're going to show you guys a couple of photos that prove Dylan's point here about how dragons exist the whole time. And then we're going to play a quick video really lining the facts up before we wrap this thing up. So our first photo here is it's clearly a medieval painting. It's from some time ago. And, I mean, look at this. Elephants exist.
Oh,
there's a
dragons
dragon.
exist too. See, that's the
There's
kind
a-
of dragon. It only has legs, no arms.
But it has little angel wings on it, too.
Yeah, it's got wings like an angel, but also like a demon.
No, but it only has two legs.
And it looks like it's breathing fire right in the elephant's face. The elephant looks terrified.
Or
of
it
this.
has like a 5-forked tongue.
Maybe.
I'm
I
thinking fire.
think it's fire, though.
I mean, the elephant's tongue also takes up its entire mouth.
But look at the elephant. Doesn't it look like so nervous? Like it's trying to have sex with Mia Khalifa for the first time.
So Mia Khalifa's the dragon.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
dragon.
She's the hot one.
The elephant says, "Feels great. Keep going."
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, that all make sense if we recorded that.
She's
You
admiring
guys
the
can
length of
imagine
his
what we talked
trunk.
about. Yeah, that's Donald Trunk there. That's his elephant.
This is Donald Trump and Mia
That's
Khalifa.
Donald Trump Jr. while he's falconing with RFK.
Yeah, and he's falconing, and that's the falcon with the fiery wings. So I thought that was a cool photo, for posterity.
And where did this come from again? One more time.
That came from the Medieval Times website.
And
Next,
why
what we
would
have
they
here.
draw
Now,
that?
this is going to be hard to argue with. I know I talked a lot of shit today, but this might shut me right up. Look at this photo, huh? Clearly a
Explain that,
bunch of
Joe.
prospectors with a dragon skeleton. Look at those teeth. Look at these guys. Tell me that's not real.
What do you want to know?
I mean, look at how big it is, too. It's so much bigger than them.
all right, enough with the bullshit. We know this one's not real. But pull up the one.
Why?
From 2017.
Why?
We're
Just 'cause it's
getting
the
there.
internet? I don't get that.
Is that a really small leg that it is coming out of it? I can't tell. I can see the skull. I don't know what else is happening there.
Because the teeth that's not an efficient way to have teeth. It's clearly fake, Joe.
You ever seen hippos?
What do you ever seen a barracuda? I mean, come on.
Oh, its teeth are coming out the bottom of its chin. How does that make sense?
That's a beard.
Oh, my bad.
No, yeah, that's not a teeth. Yeah, that's a spiky beard, like a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons don't have hairy beards; they have spiky beards.
Okay, so it only has teeth on the top row. Got it.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll pull up the Dylan's Chinese dragon here. It's a lot smaller, but it's a color photo, and there's less AI art in it, so it's easier to prove it's real. Here we go. It's pretty small, and it's on Reddit, so it's hard to see it, but I can zoom in, scroll down. There's its face.
Yeah,
It almost looks
what
like
else
there's
could
blood
that be?
on it. Scroll up. Dragon bones. A lot of people standing around.
Yep.
That's the one you're talking about, right?
60-foot long. Oh yeah, 60-foot long dragon skeleton, and fooled everyone.
What do you mean fooled?
Fooled.
Didn't it prove the
It
dragons?
says the caption appeared to be a lot of bones pie. I mean, come on.
Well, what else is there to say?
You think it's a hoax?
No.
Well, you just said fooled.
Oh, it appears to be a lot of bones pieced together. In a way, still looks sick though.
I agree.
I agree, it looks sick, but it is.
All right. So let me. How about we take a real quick peek at the SpaceX.
Why don't you pull that one up while I play the next video? Because
I got it. I got it right here, dude. Don't worry.
all right, nice. I'll just play this in the meantime. This is a really cool podcast that Dylan wishes this one was. It goes a little something like this.
Should the idea of a dragon be prominent everywhere around the world, but there's no proof of a real one?
There's no proof of real one.
This is my theory on it, is that dragons did exist and they were dinosaurs. But what happened was, there's like a study on this too. The wings of birds don't decompose or don't stay intact like the rest of their bones. So let's say a T-Rex was actually a dragon and it had wings.
But
The
like, you couldn't
wings-
find it out because the wings.
would
Come
have
on.
and not stayed intact with the rest.
Oh, that's
So it
so
would be
true.
lost forever. And this is even true in science. Like when they do put these bones
It's true
together,
in
they
science.
try and make something up. It's all theory, right? Like they're not sure exactly
Yeah.
what it
It's
is,
all theory.
how the skin fell on it,
Yeah,
whatever.
because most times like don't even have all the bones. Like they only have like 50% of them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
They'll like have to guess how it looks like.
They have to guess how it looks like. For a long time, we didn't even know they had feathers, bro.
Yeah.
For a long time,
Yeah,
we didn't know that.
We even
Long
know
time.
they had hair and shit.
Exactly. Now, if you look at
So Dylan, those are the guys you want to team up with?
How can you fight that? How can you fight
That's
that?
not my podcast, motherfucker.
I have one
Whoa,
thing to say against
bro,
that.
who knows,
the,
bro?
The wings don't stay. It's like, the wings don't have bones?
There's even a
Look at
there's
every
even a
other
study.
flying thing. It has bones in the wings.
But how can you fight that?
We have pterosaur fossils, and they have giant wings. It's amazing.
All
say that's
this
a
is
dragon.
SpaceX from like.
One of the strangest recent claimed dragon sightings was from a SpaceX rocket
Can you
launch.
guys see this?
This
Oh,
video
yeah.
is
Yeah, you're
taken
good.
from the SpaceX YouTube channel from a live stream of their rocket going up into space. And you can see in the left-hand corner here, something looks very clearly like it's flapping its wings and then shoots off to the side. This is definitely not
Why is that a dragon?
Then it
I thought it at
just
least looked like a
disappeared?
dragon.
this high.
Oh,
And
wait,
yes,
It's like a
debris
piece of
does
shit. It
fall
flies
off
off.
of this
Zoom
craft
in.
as it shoots up
So
higher
that's
into
what
the sky.
debris looks like.
But seeing it look like
Look
it
at this.
flaps its wings and then
That's a fucking
drastically
dragon.
shoot off in a different direction, not falling in the same trajectory, is definitely very strange.
Why is that
The
a dragon, not
definition
some
for
kind of bird?
dragon in the 1946
Listen to this.
Webster's Collegiate Dictionary is pretty
I
interesting.
wonder how Dylan found this.
The very first definition says now rare, a huge serpent. Second says a fabulous animal, generally a monstrous winged, scaly serpent, lizard, or saurian, which means a large reptile. If dragons did or do still exist,
He's
here's
wearing a
one
Pornhub
reason
shirt.
as to why no one ever finds their bones in
Okay, well, that gets into the whole thing that they're birds and you can't have bird.
Yep, can't have bird
fossils.
bones. I mean,
But you
he
saw
said,
the-
like, again,
you saw the
you can
video.
say
I
words
mean-
that people tell you online does not make it true.
You saw the video though
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the
No,
dragon.
that was cool. I didn't know what that was. It kind of looked like
What
some
else could that be?
flapping
Was it
wings, and then it
space
kind of
debris?
shot to the side like that.
Yeah, right. So
So
just
that's
saying.
that's the same as all the evidence that they don't exist. But here's the real one that sparked this whole thing off. We have to play this one because
yeah.
this
This
is
guy
gonna
is-
make me eat my words. All the shit I
And-
said tonight doesn't matter compared to
And
this.
Joe, it took me really hard not to bring it up earlier in the podcast when you talked about something similar.
Yeah.
Look what's on the guy's hat. Oh, he thinks dragons are real? What else does he think is real?
What was on his hat? Are the guy I'm about to play?
Which
Yeah.
guy?
Ice wall.
Oh yeah. yeah. This also has my favorite TikTok trope: guy pointing at himself talking, and he has the rare guy pointing at himself talking. But we'll see them all right now.
Let's see now. Yeah. I wanna
Here we
see
go.
this.
We really think This is some sort of dinosaur found off the UK Jurassic coast, or is it perhaps something else? Something that they don't want us to know exists.
He's describing the
That
skeleton
rhymes
here.
with Kragan. This is
dragon.
supposedly a plesiosaur, and it was found in the cliffs off the Jurassic coast of the UK. And boy, it sure does resemble something else that they tell us is just some sort of mythical creature.
Now, this is a good question. Why would a plesiosaur, which is a ocean-dwelling dinosaur, why would that be in the cliffs? Does anyone have an answer?
Well, like the cliffs of Moher, obviously. Like, there's a lot of water there.
Oh, yeah, because it used to be underwater, but now it's not.
Yeah.
So
No, there's water, like, in the
doesn't require wings to get up there.
To get up there.
Just making sure we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, why are there
This
whales?
guy seems to think, why would
found in the desert?
why would an animal in the ocean be on the cliff? It makes no sense at all, you know? But unless,
I think we're on the same page.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure.
Yep, I think we're good.
Or that they put in movies. And if you're someone that still can't wrap your head around the fact that these guys existed, well, you just haven't seen enough of my videos. So let's do a little
That's your
recap.
problem, Joe.
Videos.
Let's
This is
first
your
take a
problem,
look
Joe.
at what the
Here he is, talking to
1946
himself.
dictionaries
Love
used to
this.
say. Dragons.
Oh, there's
Now
Dennis.
rare.
Now,
Let's see what Alexa has to say about this.
What does Alexa have to say?
how many dragon fossils have been found?
This is a rare, for the people who aren't listening, it's 3 versions of himself on one video. It's him looking at him,
And
looking
the
at
more,
himself.
the more it levels, the worse the audio gets.
And the best way to find out something's real, ask Alexa.
Alexa.
For people who don't trust the government or corporations,
Wait,
why is
I'll
he
ask
asking
right now. Can I ask right
Amazon? Huh?
What did he just ask? Alexa, how
He
many...
asked.
Well,
I'll replay it because I did talk over it. But this,
Yeah, 'cause
I
I'm
just
gonna
love this
ask
image
right now
of
and see what it
3
says.
versions of him, all being like, "Come on, you guys, don't be stupid."
See? Why would I make more videos? I already have this one.
All right, here we go. We'll back up a little bit. Let's see what Alexa thinks of this.
Let's see what Alexa has to say about this. Alexa, how many dragon fossils have been found in the United States?
The number of dragon fossils found in the United States is limited. Only 5 fossils have been discovered so far, limiting the knowledge about these creatures. These fossils are studied by researchers to learn more about dragon species and their evolution.
Hey, can you
Okay,
stop
you
talking
ready?
with the microphone?
No, I got this.
It's
Alexa,
wicked loud.
how many dragon fossils have been found in the United States?
In the United States, there have been no documented finds of dragon fossils. There have been no finds of fossils or any other kind of evidence to support the existence of dragons. It is important to note that this is not to say that dragons do not exist.
Oh.
Only that there is no evidence to support their existence in the
I
United
agree with
States
that,
or
though.
anywhere else in the world.
So why is his Alexa believing bullshit and yours tells
I
the
think you
truth?
should keep watching the video.
I don't know, but let's keep going.
No, I'm glad Dylan let that out because he asked the same question, and she goes, "There's 5 of them," and then Dylan's goes, "There's none of them, but they could be real." You know?
Alexa, are dragons real?
Dragon legends have existed for thousands of years, originating in cultures across the globe. While they remain only myths, dragons are real in the sense that they can be interpreted as representations of actual creatures, such as dinosaurs.
Okay, enough. Alexa,
Alexa, stop making Joe's point. Alexa, stop.
Alexa, enough with the lies. It's off. Okay, back
But
to you.
just
We
because
should have
Alexa
Alexa
agrees
do the
with
whole
me
podcast for us now.
doesn't make Alexa right. Alexa's an amalgamation of the internet boiled into one thing. But it also means, did this guy just program his Alexa to say exactly what he wanted to say? That's hilarious.
That's exactly what he did.
While the findings are preliminary, they provide insights into the life and times of these majestic creatures.
So the dictionary says they're real. Alexa says they're real.
So they're real.
Several weeks ago in the UK, they found a fossil that looked like this, even though they called it a plesiosaur. This sure looks like a dragon to me. And just a few weeks after that was found, CNN reveals that their scientist actually unveiled dragon remains.
Wait, why is he listening to fake news network? I mean, what is CNN?
He's grasping
This
at
guy
anything-
actually likes
anything he
CNN?
can.
There's no way.
He's not a CNN guy.
No. Now he likes CNN because they say one thing about dragons. He doesn't listen to CNN. If CNN told him he's a dumbass, he wouldn't listen to that.
Not to mention how they're part of the Chinese zodiac.
See what I'm saying, guys? I'm not the only one.
That's why I say it to the end. I didn't want to make Dylan feel bad. He's making all the same points. This guy who needs help getting his pants on in the morning.
With all real animals, and how there are over 30 verses in the Bible that reference dragons.
There you go.
And how my friend Lori sent me this amazing 1922
And how my friend Lori.
Wait, 1922?
dictionary
I didn't see that one yet.
that just happens to have the word dragon in it.
I mean,
Let's see what it says. Is it going to say fictional character, mythical beast? Or is it going to say something else? Winged serpent.
What's a dragoon?
Now, the really funny part about all this,
isn't a dragoon someone who rides a horse?
I forget what a
Like
dragoon
a
is. I used to
cavalier?
know.
I think a dragoon is someone who fires weapons from a horseback.
Okay, like St. George.
Just like St. George.
I love it. If you look up a cyclops too, it'll say like one-eyed beast. It wouldn't say like a dictionary won't be like, by the way, this isn't real. Like, yeah, what's a dragon? Fake thing. Also, winged beast. Like, it's an encyclopedia. It's a fucking dictionary. It's what the definition of dragon isn't fake. The definition of dragon is winged serpent being. The dictionary does not explain.
The difference between cavalry and dragoon is cavalry, they would fight from their horses. The dragoons would ride in and then get off to fight.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know the difference, but there you go. Cool. Thank you. Anyway, let's finish this thing off because it's making so many good points, making me feel like an idiot.
says I think I changed the algorithm with that last post because listen to what Alexa says now.
Oh, he changed the algorithm.
Alexa,
he
how many
reset
dragon
Alexa's
fossils have
standard.
been found in the United States?
In the United States, there have been no fossils or hard evidence of dragons found or documented. Despite popular belief, there is no evidence to suggest that dragons ever existed in the real world. However, this does not stop people from believing in their existence, and dragons...
I like this too because he's wearing the same shirt, so this is what he recorded just before this when he told Alexa to say. Alexa doesn't usually say hard evidence, but he wrote that in to be like, oh, the global elite's telling you that it's a lie, man.
are often used in fiction to create a sense of mystery and wonder.
Entertainment only, though, people. I'm sure they would never lie to us about this and cover it up with just another dinosaur story to make sure that you knew that dragons were in the Bible and the Bible was completely legit.
There's the real reason. The Bible's real. He doesn't care about dragons at all. The Bible's real, bitch. That's what I always wanted to see, the motivation. If the government's hiding stuff from you, which they are lying to you every day. Let's not doubt that. They're definitely lying to you every day.
We know that.
They are, but not about dragons. And the Earth is also round. They're not lying to you about that either. They lie to you about other things that benefit them.
Yep.
They don't lie to you about this kind of stuff. They don't care. But there you have it. Dragons are real. I'm stupid for believing thousands of years of scientific evidence and research. And I should just listen to this guy with the ice wall hat and whatever he thinks when he reprograms Alexa to say exactly what he thinks after he changes the algorithm. But unfortunately for me, a lot of people on TikTok eat this shit up, and they're not interested in learning. They're interested in, supplanting their own beliefs over and over again. But Dylan's not like that. Dylan's a questioner. He wants to learn more about the world, and he wants to do exciting stuff. So I got to get up to him for that.
Thank you.
And he's my friend.
You're my friend too.
With that, would you guys like to do final thoughts on dragons?
Let's go.
Jizz.
I started off,
Final
so I might as well just say it.
It'll be me breathing fire.
Man, the tension's getting too great to not. No one has done a good job at explaining my point. Of
Not even
your
you.
time.
The
You want to go last. Really...
No, I'm going now.
Okay, great.
Is for thousands, tens of thousands of years, we've been seeing this shit in fucking books, scrolls, cave paintings, whatever. It's all relatively fucking similar. And back then, they were supposed to believe these are hunter-gatherer people, and they have no time to draw fucking dragons in the wall to jerk off to. So, it's that plus other things. It's only been 100 years since people have been like, oh, they're not real. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Dragons were real. They're not around anymore. But they are.
Damn.
I know. I smoked you guys.
Did you explain it the right way now? So now we Now we do know what you think.
Now you know exactly what
Okay,
you
good.
think. I didn't
just wanna make
clarify
sure
things over the past 2 hours, yeah, but now I did.
Nice. Dom, do you want to go?
Yeah, dragons are really, really cool. But like most instances in this scenario where it's some conspiracy thing or a cryptid, as where Dylan wants to do his best to defend it being a thing, and Joe wants to do his best to shit all over his life.
Not his life, just his ideas.
I mean, I just usually don't care about these things. I'm like, yeah, they're not real, but I mean, if they were, that'd be cool. I don't have a strong opinion on dragons.
You don't like Spyro?
Spyro's pretty cool. I was never able to beat it. I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
You could beat it
Too
now.
young.
I'm buying you the Spyro collection for your birthday. You could beat it right now.
Is it on Switch right now? Because
Yeah,
PS4.
it's on Xbox and
probably.
PlayStation. I don't know
Well,
if
it's
it's
a
on
PlayStation
Switch.
game, but
Yeah.
I would.
No,
I
but
would
they
like
have
to
an
go
Xbox
back
now.
Through that, it is fun to light the cannons. So
Oh yeah.
And the skateboard and
that's
stuff's fun.
very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
So I'll say my final thought: Spyro, best dragon.
Solid choice. I think dragons are cool as shit. Unlike Dylan, who this is not even his fault. He had an awful dragon childhood. Aragon, his aunt buys him lame dragon stuff. Not cool at all.
No, totally.
For me, I think they're amazing mythical beasts. Things like Lord of the Rings or like playing Skyrim and fighting a dragon and the voice and all the cool fire breathing shit. It's cool
Don't do
as
the
hell.
voice.
There's nothing like playing a video game where you have to fight a dragon. It really is the final boss of any game. It's the ultimate beast. You can't defeat it. It owns your ass. It can pick you up and drop you off. It can smudge, crunch your entire body on its big pile of gold. They're amazing. I love them in Japanese artistry. The river itself is flying through you in Breath of the Wild and Zelda.
Oh, fuck.
The dragons in that
Yeah.
game are fucking cool as hell. They're like forces of nature. In the most recent game, minor spoiler, you have to try to climb on top of one and drive your sword through its skull as you fly it around there. It's amazing. It's all cool as shit. Dragons are fucking cool as hell. But much like other things that are cool as hell, like Cyclops or the Hydra, another dragon we didn't mention. 9 heads. Hercules is gonna fight it. They're all fucking cool. Or like being in love. These things are fake. They're ideas. They're fun. They're cool. I like them they exist, but there's just no evidence for it. So my final thoughts are: I wish dragons were cool, but I also wish that I was 6'5" and had a solid future ahead of me. But you can't always get what you want. Imagine dragons.
Excellent.
Radioactive.
Nailed it.
So there we have it.
And that's the gospel truth.
It is. Yep.
The gospel according to St. George.
Mm-hmm. That's it, guys.
Well, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Dragons.
That's how doing's done.
Glad we cleared it up. Glad
Episode
we
103. Nailed it.
We cleared it up for everyone. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. If you finish this whole podcast, you don't know your thought on dragons, watch it again.
Yeah. One more time. Run it back. But you guys, we're in the spookiest month of the year, Shocktober. You can't script October. And we're going to get at least one spooky episode for you guys in this month.
Welcome to Salem, brother.
So feel free to tune in again and get the spooky episode we got coming up for you. This podcast loves the spook. It brings the spook every time. It brings the creep.
That's a good point.
Here comes the spook.
So we got a spooky
it's
episode
going
coming up
in.
for you guys, and we can't wait to do it to you. And it's one of our, I'd say with our decade episodes, the spook episodes are some of the most anticipated of this show. So we're going to spook you again pretty soon.
Yeah,
so
no, definitely.
Before
Let's try to
Halloween.
find a way to get you guys here before the month though is over. Let's
Absolutely.
Get some scooters going. Good time.
Scoot.
Spook it up, baby.
Spook it up, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. I'll see you
Yeah.
next time. Dragon sounds.
When they ask you like, "Oh, what's your zodiac sign?" You should say, "Do not disturb." That's my sign. That's the
I
sign.
like that.
Yeah, one thing is
Do
they'll
not
chirp
disturb.
right back with exactly what sign you are based on
Based
that.
off
Like,
of saying that?
I knew you were a Libra.
Yeah. Mine's plows use caution.
Mine's
Well-
caution slow children.
Here's the thing. Deaf child area. So,
they have to guess how it looks like. For a long time, we didn't even know they had feathers, bro.
Yeah.
For a long time, we didn't know that.
We even
long time.
They had hair and shit.
Exactly. Now, if you look at...
So, Dylan, those are the guys you want to team up with?
How can you fight that? How can you fight
That's not my podcast, motherfucker.
What's up with that video of the 2017
Well,
Dragon
hold
Bones
on
found in
now.
China?
Can I talk
Wait a
about
minute. Give Dom a
dragons?
second to interject here.
What, Dom?
Can I talk about dragons?
Yes.
You're definitely
Yeah, I was
aloof, but the fantasy that you're into is owning
Not
a
that.
fighter jet, not a dragon.
Excellent fucking point. Thank you for
I am.
understanding who
I'm
I am.
indulging in fantasy as a child, but I don't believe in the dragon. I want an actual
Yeah,
fucking fighter
so
jet, please.
This aunt bought me
How to
a piece
train
of-
your F-16.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, yeah. In the skies over Vietnam, supersonic dogfights, including
Yeah, that's the fantasy you're involved in.
MiG-17 versus F-4 Phantom.
Yeah, you
on
don't wanna see a
sunny
dragon
day over Ho Chi Minh City, also in Saigon.
The last dragon of Saigon.
Two MiG-17s were spotted by one F-4 Phantom.
In time with dragons. Move on to another. Oh my god, a dragon. Okay. I don't know what to do now. One night.
She had it coming. Look how she's dressed with a
What
cross
do you
around her
think
neck.
happens when you do that?
She's wearing purple.
I always tell people, I tell everyone this: suck the dick, then bite it off.
A lot of things that are important aren't fucking real.
People weren't
Like
making
being
shit
in
up
love.
Oh, people are always making shit up. What are you talking about?
We recorded that.
She's
with you.
admiring
You guys
the
can
length of
imagine
his
what we
trunk.
talked about. Yeah, that's Donald Trunk there. That's
This is Donald Trump. And
That's Donald Trump Jr. while he's falconing with our.
Yeah, and that's he's falconing, and that's the falcon with the fiery wings.
Alexa, are dragons real?
Dragon legends have existed for thousands of years, originating in cultures across the globe. While they remain only myths, dragons are real in the sense that they can be interpreted as representations of actual creatures, such as dinosaurs.
Okay, enough. Alexa,
Alexa, stop making Joe's point. Alexa, stop.
Alexa, enough with the lies. Just off.
Oh no? So someone writing something down is not proof of something existing, right?
It is back then.
No, why? That's bullshit.
Not now.
Why do we not now? It either is or it isn't. Wait, why is he listening to fake news network? I mean, what is CNN?
He's grasping at
This guy
anything-
actually likes
anything he
CNN?
can.
There's no way.
He's not a CNN guy.
No. Now he likes CNN because they say one thing about dragons. He doesn't listen to CNN. If CNN told him he's a dumbass, he wouldn't listen to that.
Not to mention how they're part of the Chinese zodiac.
See what I'm saying, guys? I'm not the only one.
Cyclops or the Hydra, another dragon we didn't mention. You know,
Oh, yeah.
9 heads. You know, Hercules is gonna fight it. They're all fucking cool. Or like being in love. These things are fake. They're ideas. They're fun. They're cool. I like them they exist, but there's just no evidence for it.
Brother, I am waiting for Dominic to respond to my Facebook Marketplace view on a Ford Probe.
You ever try turning around and see who's right behind you?
Brother,
I'm here. What's up?
you here to see the Ford Probe?
Yeah.
Do you wanna
That's
see-
the one that you don't need arms to drive, right?
Okay, brother, come on, go take a seat. See the Ford Probe. Nice. How much do you want for the Ford Probe?
I thought you were selling the Ford Probe.
The Ford Probe's not for sale. The Jimny is.
Nothing about he has no arms. He literally has no arms.
Brother, the Ford, brother,